welcome to episode 2 of this Football Manager 2017 career. If you haven't caught up with episode 1, do check that out. But in that episode, we got the job at Dundela in Northern Ireland in the Premier Intermediate League, and we played the first game of the season in that first episode. So I'm going to have a look at the games we played, then we'll have a look at some of the transfers we've made, and then we'll get into a live con today. So if we have a look at the results we've had, in the first episode you saw us play the first league game of the season, which was a 2-1 win at home to Moyella Park, Halliday and Bradley scoring the goals. We then went away to Queen's University and drew 1-1. We went 1-0 down, and then Michael Halliday scored for the second game in a row to equalise for us. We lost David Murphy to a red card in the dying moments of the game, so we couldn't push on for the victory in that game. We then played a Steel and Sons Cup match. The board have already said that that cup wasn't important, so we made a few changes and we managed to ease our way past Shankill 3-1. A few new names there scoring the goals, but we managed to go through 3-1 there. We then played another cup game. So what I thought was a short season in terms of games was potentially building up these games because of all the different cup competitions going on. And we played Newington, who are in our division and who will be playing today as well in the league. And it was a 0-0 draw. We lost Liam Bradley. He was the experienced midfielder we brought in the first episode. We lost him to a red card in the first half, and then we went through the game and then extra time with a 0-0 draw. And unfortunately we lost that game on penalties, so that was a disappointing result for us. We then made a return to league action. Felt like a long time between league games. It was 2 weeks, and we lost to Donegal Celtic. It was a disappointing day. Michael Halliday put us in front and Donegal instantly equalised, both goals there in the 48th minute, and then they went on to win that game 2-1. So it was starting to look like a bit of a disappointing start to the season. We got back to winning ways at Tobermoor United. MacLeod and a Stephen Gourlay penalty made it safe for us late on. So that was a good win away from home, and we followed that up with another poor performance. We lost 2-1 at home to Banbridge. Our goal was a late goal, 88 minutes. Liam Bradley got us a goal back. So that was the last league game we played. We then managed to get locked out of the Steel and Sons Cup. We made a few changes for this game, and we lost 2-0 at home, and even a red card for Stephen Lowry for Linfield Swifts. Couldn't change the momentum. We couldn't get a goal. Couldn't get ourselves back into the game. So that was a disappointing exit from that competition. So where has that got us in the league? So we are currently 8th out of 12, so it's a really disappointing start considering we're aiming for promotion this season. 2 wins, a draw and 2 losses. We're not a million miles away from the top of the table, but we really do need to get back to winning ways today against Newington, and we need revenge for that cup exit the other day. Newington are on 8 points, they're in the mid-table with us, so we could do with getting back to winning ways. I said we'd have a quick look at the transfers. So you'll see a lot of activity here. Because everyone's on non-contracts, it's quite difficult to make any long-term plans because players can just disappear and come in at any time. If another club fancies taking them away, they will. And we'll have a look at the right-hand side and the people that have gone out. In the last episode, we'd got up to, I think, Darren Fox leaving. We've also lost, I think Johnny Sargent may have gone. Johnny Sargent now has gone. He was a reserve goalkeeper. We then lost Colin Smith, who played a few games for us at centre-half. 22-year-old. He's moved on to the Championship, actually, so he played 4 games for us this season. Got a man of the match. And he's got himself a move to the next division up, so he's gone to Knockbreda. Again, I apologise for any pronunciations. And we also lost Stephen Gourlay. So Stephen Gourlay had a testimonial at the start of this season, so he's been at the club for a while, and he's moved on to Armour. Again, that's a move up to the next division. So he'd been around here for 13 years by the looks of that, and he's moved on up. So I've had a great effect there. Even the club stalwart has moved on from the club, so that's not great. I have brought quite a few players in here. I don't know whether to go through all of these individually. Let's have a quick look. We brought in Warren Smith as a potential target man up front. He's got good finishing and dribbling, good determination, so he's a experienced guy, 35 years old, but he's come in. Stephen Curley's come in at centre half. We lost a couple of centre halves, so he's come in to add a bit of depth to our centre back positions. 31 years old, so another experienced player. We lost all our reserve keepers, so Paul Wells came in as our reserve keeper. He's 24 years old. He's generally been around this league, so he's our reserve goalkeeper. Denver Taggart has come in on the left hand side. This was a scout recommendation. He doesn't look particularly great. He's got 9 on crossing, decent pace down the left hand side. So he's come in on the left hand side. He's only played a few games so far. Hasn't really done anything of note yet. Stuart Forrest has come in, so he's a bit of a utility player. Can play right back or the defensive midfield or centre midfield. Again, doesn't look too brilliant. I am thinking about going back to a back 4, so he might potentially be useful if we do that. William Worry has come in as an option all the way through the middle of the park. Really, he can play centre half, defensive midfield, centre midfield. Good physical stats, so he's in to add a bit of depth in midfield. Joe Finley is coming up front. He looks decent, quick, good finishing. So he should be a good addition up front. He'll probably play today's game. He scored 1 goal for us so far this season, I think. I'm assuming that goal was for us. It might not have been actually. I think his goal was for Newington, so he's going to be playing against his old club today. Dean Stewart is the last one to come in. Again, good physicals, good leadership. Stats and technical stats aren't great. There's not many players with great technical stats available, but he's coming again in centre midfield. So I'm kind of just winging it, I think, is the best way of describing it in terms of the squad, and just trying to get a side out there. We have been playing 3-5-2. That's what I've kind of been set up to. I've just built this 4-2-3-1 because I'm starting to think this 3-5-2 isn't working. We aren't where we should be. I've been doing some quick picks, so that's probably what a side would look like. There's probably be a couple of changes, but I have considered going to a 4-2-3-1 and making it more of an orthodox formation, and maybe that would bring us a little bit of improvement. But I'm going to go and have a think about that, because today's game is at home to Newington, so it's a big game for us if we can get a victory in this. So I'll go away and select the side, and then we'll come back and watch this game. And here's the side for today's game. I've decided to stick with a 3-5-2. I was toying with the idea of going back to a back 4, but I'm going to stick with this for now. I don't think our fullbacks are too hot, and I think we might need to do a little bit more tactical work before we switch to a back 4. I've made a slight tweak to this 3-5-2. We've gone back to standard rather than attacking. Hopefully that makes us a little bit more solid. And then I've taken quite a few of the instructions off, so we're going to try and drop a little bit deeper and work the ball into the box. But apart from that, there aren't too many instructions on there. So we're going to go with that formation, and let's get into this game. We're at home to Newington, and we really could do with a victory. I don't want to end up getting towards the new year and languishing down in mid-table. That could put my job at risk. So here's the match preview. We are strong favourites, but we managed to get knocked out by Newington in the cup, so I'm not sure how much to read into these odds, but let's get into the game. Hopefully they are quite an accurate representation, because that suggests it's going to be a comfortable victory. We've got Finley up front. He's playing against his old club, and I think we'll just make a little change here. We'll try and show people onto their weaker foot. Feels like an obvious thing to do. And we could go for revenge, or what other options have we got? Yeah, let's go with revenge. as you can imagine, with my very low stats, I'm not getting too much of a tune out of these team talks. The one thing that has happened is I've managed to get onto a coaching course, so it'll be my first coaching course. Dundela are going to pay for that, and that'll hopefully get completed in the next few months, and that'll hopefully mean I'm a little bit better in terms of my manager stats. But let's get off to a good start in this game. So a chance here after 20 minutes. We need to defend this well, and we haven't. It's 1-0 to Newington. Again, we've dropped behind. We're potentially dropping down to 9th here. This wasn't the start to the season I had planned. All too easy, I think, though. Don't know whether a flat back four may help us, because we don't seem to be settling into this 3-5-2. But we've got a chance here. Here's Finley, and he's put that wide from outside the box. Defending again here, and that's an absolute tap in. We're 2-0 down at home. This is not going well. Half time I may think about going to a back four, but I haven't really got fullbacks to play that system, so it's an instant highlight though. Let's hopefully get back into the game before half time. I always say 2-0 is a dangerous lead, and they're on the attack though, so 3-0 might be a less dangerous lead. We've managed to get hold of the ball though. Stewart's put Finley down the right hand side. Can he hold it up and find a player? He's found MacLeod, and it's 2-1. We're back in the game. We really need that. And Finley's set up a goal against his own club, old club. It's a good ball in. MacLeod brought it down. He's been missing a few chances actually, so I'm pleased he's managed to get that one in. And it's 2-1. And another highlight straight away. This is an eventful game. Can we get hold of the ball? Newington attacking. Taggart's managed to get hold of the ball. Can he find a pass? Stewart's gone with a long ball. We've lost it. And O'Neill's now charging through the centre and hits a shot from long range over the bar. Free kick here. Hegarty. Oh, he's put it in! I didn't expect that one to go in, but it's 2-2. I haven't made any changes, and we've managed to drag ourselves back into the game. Let's put that free kick over the wall right into the bottom corner. The keeper did get a hand to it, and it's trickled across the line, so their goalkeeper's made a bit of an error there, I think. Well, we've got away with that in the first half. We were 2-0 down in absolutely no time, but we've managed to get ourselves back on level terms. I'm going to get stuck in and try and be a bit more disciplined. We're not particularly doing great at that. It's been a very quiet second half. 67 minutes gone. I'm going to make a change, bring Halliday on up front. He's going to come on for Finley. I think Halliday was top scorer up to now, but felt like it was time to make a bit of a change. And we're also going to bring on Bradley in midfield for Stewart. So the substitutions haven't been made yet, and the goal kick's been taken. A little bit of head tennis, but it's fallen for us in midfield. So can we use the ball? Got it out wide to Taggart, and he's lost the ball. Curley heads it forward, and Bright hasn't managed to get hold of the ball. So there's a ball over the top here for Newington, and a ball across, and it's an absolute tap in. We are 3-2 down. This really isn't going to plan. I had high hopes for this season, and we've not lived up to them. Really, I definitely think it's time for a system change. I'm going to have to keep attacking in this 3-5-2 for this game, but it's really not working for us. But we've got a free kick here. Hegarty's going to put the ball in, headed away, and Bright's headed it. but it was an easy save for Harrison. Time to throw caution to the wind, I think. We'll bring on Andy Sims for Darryl Bright, and we'll bring him into an attacking midfielder role. We're going to go overload, take off the work into the box. So goal kick here. Don't manage to get our heads on it, and it's just a flick on and they're through, and it's 4-2, and this goes from bad to worse. Dear oh dear oh dear. Just a flick on from Brunnigan, and Niblock was through on goal, lifts it over the goalkeeper, or just under the goalkeeper actually. And it's 4-2. And they've got a free kick here. And it's at the bar, and we've just managed to avoid it. It was about to be 5-2. They've still got a corner. We're not quite out of the woods yet. And we've managed to escape that one. But this game's drifting away from us. Got Heron on the ball now. Ball over the top. Can Taggart get there? He's got there. It's 4-3. Is there going to be time for a dramatic equaliser? Taggart's got his first goal for us. Just a ball over the top from Heron. Taggart managed to get it under control and then side-footed it in with his right foot. It's a simple goal, really. We've got a couple of minutes. It doesn't look like we're going to save ourselves. I think this is about to be the end. Time's up. And there it is. We've lost 4-3 at home. And that's a really frustrating game. This poor start to the season continues. That's really frustrating. We're 8th in the table. We're still 6 points off the top. If we can win, we've got a game in hand on Tobermoor, although there's a couple of clubs that can get up to 16 points. So we're still not miles out of it, but we really do need a quick turnaround. So that's a really frustrating result. Ah dear. So let's have a look at the schedule. We're out of a couple of cup competitions, so hopefully we can concentrate on the league and get ourselves into some form. And I think we're going to come back and play possibly Moyola Park again. We may play the Distillery game. We've already seen ourselves play Moyola Park on a live com, so it'll be one of those two games, and hopefully I'll have better news to report. But I hope you've enjoyed that episode, and there'll be another one as soon as I can make it. See you next time.